Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We have something really cool to show you.
I know, it's a pansy.
Okay.
Look at the regular pansies.
Regular normal pansies. And what's really exciting is something that's been introduced last year and this year for the first time we have it.
Isn't that cool?
That is
So there's your
gorgeous.
normal pansy, nice and kind of flat, beautiful, and they of course have different ruffles and stuff. But this one not only just has ruffles, it's like doubled.
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yeah, so these have been in development for
So
decades. So this is the Twilight Elegance Pansies. This series is the Twilight collection. Look how beautiful those are.
Look at some of those. They're kind of like a cushion almost.
Mm-hmm.
Some are double, some are semi-double.
Hang on to these, or
Sure.
All right.
And this is not very many times in the greenhouse do we have like new items.
Yeah.
Because there is, kind of standards, but they kind of keep improving or changing a little bit.
Well, it takes a long time.
It
You know,
does.
the improving those genetics and the breeding. It's not something that's instantaneous, and so this is the exception with that is. This has been decades in development, so
Show them that one.
yeah, they're really something to see though.
So it's kind of like a cushion, but it's a pansy. So it has the characteristics of a pansy
Flip that around.
and the little faces of a pansy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
So these are the Tagawa Pansies. So they've been developed by Sao Sato, and he was actually here in the U.S. I think did like an internship and was doing some of the breeding program, went back to Japan and spent like the next decade or two developing not only pansies but also violas. He really liked this ruffled look, and it took that long to develop these. So last year, 2025, I think was the first that we started seeing it. We were asked for this year to showcase them, so we have them in our greenhouses this year. So this is brand new for us, and they are stunning. So they're just starting to
I know we keep
flower.
looking at them, but
They're just starting to flower now. So we've had our eyes on them, and we really want to show these. So but anyway, they are gorgeous and certainly unique.
the difference between this pansy and just a ruffled pansy is it has that extra layer going on around the edges. Some of them, this would be like a semi-double, and then the full double would be where it's all the way around the cushion, kind of where it kind of looks like a cushion portion. They do have the characteristics of a pansy, so they like to be on the cooler side.
Yep. So these are a great plant for your early spring. They can handle
Mother's
those.
Day gift.
Yeah, they can handle that colder temperatures that other plants can't. They like that. The normal full sun and heat. Well, these are a great early spring plant. So
how
do
many
like that
of you
cooler
have
weather.
heard of these?
So-
Because a lot of our greenhouse people that enjoy all the plants, they're always looking for the newest thing and what's coming out.
Yeah.
This isn't AI. This is actually
This is real.
what it is. That's actually how it looks. But how many of you have heard of these particular pansies? And, it's always fun to see what comes out and what colors come out. Of course, we got in a mixed group, so we had no idea what actually was going to happen.
So really, like last week, they started blooming, and that we could see for the first time for ourselves what they actually look like. So that's why we wanted to kind of hold off and show you now. And they're like we said, they're just starting. They will fill out. They don't get real tall. I think they 8 inches tall by 8 to 10 inches wide, so they will fill out really nicely. So these are great to use in a planter or in a flower bed. They take that full to partial sun, so we don't want to put these in a really shady spot. These will go in the sun, and again, they do like that cooler weather. So how will they do in the summer? We're not really sure. Most pansies are just fine. They do thrive in that little bit cooler weather, but I'm sure these are going to do awesome even in the summer.
And what you'll find is, especially with pansies, is they will have that big bloom in the spring of the year, which is when you like to have it, because you want that instant color. And then they kind of have just a little bit slower growth during the summer, and then in fall again they start going crazy.
As those temperatures start dropping down, yeah,
Right.
then they start thriving again. So yeah, you get two big pushes. Yeah, that early spring.
Not that it won't bloom during the summer, it's just not going to be that huge push like you do in the spring and in the fall. But in our
Exciting
region,
though, yeah.
that is really exciting to have.
Yeah, because we have to have early, being northern Wisconsin, we have to have something that's kind of cold hardy. So these are going to be the ticket. So very excited to introduce these. This is the Elegance in the Twilight Collection series. They're also called Tagawa, from the Tagawa greenhouses in Japan. So if you hear a few of these different names being tossed around, that's what these are. They're a double pansy. So very cool looking.
I think for Mother's Day, I'm going to do some of these up in little purses.
Oh, okay.
Because that will be, I mean, it's just so unique. Anybody who is into plants are going to want to have
Yeah,
one.
again, look at how gorgeous these are. So what do you think of these? Would you grow these in your yard, or what would you do with these? Put them in a pot? Would you put them in flower beds? But they are really, really cool. Yeah. So
Love them.
So very excited for these. So nice little highlight. Excited to grow these this year. Excited to see how they turn out.
Right?
We talked a little bit about the care. They're gonna take kind of your normal, what you would for a pansy. You're going to water them so that they're just moist. We don't want to overwater them. We don't want them to be really dry. So we're just going to be kind of right down the middle as far as watering. They do, you can feed them about once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. That's going to keep them growing and thriving and pushing out those ruffled blooms. So about once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer.
And when the blooms are spent, just go ahead and snip them off behind the head.
Yep, a little bit of deadheading, kind of normal for pansy care. But so if you do really well with pansies, you might want to give these a try. So these ruffled pansies, consider them for your garden this year.
Very excited.
Awesome.
Speaking of fertilizer, let's do our highlights of the day.
All right, we have two of them. So again, we have Hartman's Towne and Country greenhouses in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. So that's one of our neighbors down the road, about an hour and a half.
Yep.
So that's Hartman's Towne and Country greenhouses down in Manitowoc. And then also Picket Fence Crafts and Greenhouses in Ellendale, North Dakota. So that was another new one last year. So they picked up our fertilizer for there. So she's fairly new, a newer greenhouse. I think last year might have been one of the first years. So yeah, but anyway, that's Picket Fence Crafts and Greenhouses in Ellendale, North Dakota. So awesome.
And if you go on the Beat Your Neighbor website,
Sure.
you can go down to that retailer locator, hit that button, and it will pop up a map of the United States and show you all the different little dots of who has it. And we've tried to keep that current. So we go every 18 months we refresh it to make sure that,
These are active retailers.
right.
Yeah.
But always
absolutely.
call ahead of time. Make sure that they have it.
Yeah, a lot of greenhouses are just opening up, so make sure that they're open before you show up, knocking on the door.
I had fun yesterday. I took a map of the United States.
You were coloring it. You were literally coloring in a map.
I was coloring in just because I could, of the different, just to see it from our perspective without going onto the map of all the states that we have. So I'm very excited to start coloring in more little states.
There was more this morning that were emailing us, so that are getting in some of the paperwork that we need as a wholesaler, what we need from them. So we'll be excited to add a few more, hopefully today or tomorrow or whatever, very soon. So, but yeah, we are rapidly filling in a lot of those states, and Amy is coloring her map, so that's very exciting. But anyway, you can find, again, at our beatyourneighbor.com website, you can find that retailer map if you're looking for a retailer in your area in the United States. Otherwise, we do ship to 48 states currently, so we can ship right to your door.
Correct.
Also. But we do want to partner up with our retailers and ask you to shop at small business. So,
Absolutely.
All right.
And check out what kind of new plants they have going on. You can
Yeah.
always ask. We have a limited number of these, so they are going to
so
be
fast.
They are going to be on first come first serve. We're not reserving any. You might find them in little baskets, or not baskets, but in little containers
Planters or whatever.
It's all depending on how fast they go the first day.
Yep. Yeah. We better keep some of these for ourselves.
I want to see.
We
I
have to,
think
we
they're
have to
just
remember
beautiful.
that. Whenever we have new plants and we forget to keep a few for ourselves and then they're gone and like, oh, I didn't get any. So.
Are you saying that I have a bench reserved just for me?
Well, there's sometimes we go through the greenhouses. There's a lot of things that have a tag on it that say "Amy, don't sell."
I like to showcase some stuff in the yard.
Yeah,
and if it all sells out, I can't do that.
Yeah, very good. All right, thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye bye.